And I'm Matt Hanna.
And this is Horror Hour with the Hannas.
And we brought you back here for another Movie Rec Monday.
Movie Rec Monday is our series where we talk about a lesser discussed or watched movie that we think you should see.
Yep.
So today, Matt is actually going to be pitching a movie to me as well as our 4 listeners.
Yeah, you've never watched this one. It's one that I've watched a bunch of times because I enjoy it. Mm-hmm. One of our buddies, Jason, him and I like to put it on. So eventually you're going to watch it with us.
Yeah.
But it is Climax, which is a 2018 film. It was written and directed by Gasper Noé, who's an Argentinian-Italian filmmaker who's based in Paris.
Nice.
So I said he's got roots everywhere.
We love the French.
Yeah. Well,
I guess it's not French.
A lot of people in the movie are French, though, so that helps. So the film premiered at the 2018 Cannes Film Festival, and then it won the Art Cinema Award as part of the Directors Fortnight, which is this like independent section held in parallel to the Cannes Film Festival. There's a long history on it. I don't need to explain all that to you. If you're interested, go look up the Directors Fortnight. But it won an award, which means It's good. All right.
Just one?
Just one. I mean, it won some other awards, but that's the biggest.
That's the biggest one that won. Okay.
Yeah.
No, I was just like fucking around because even if you look at like the IMDb section, it'll like bring up the smallest award show possible.
No, it won some other cool
stuff. It's like the Denver International Film Festival or the Philadelphia Film Festival, and it's like that doesn't matter, but also like cool that you won that. Like good for you.
I mean, half the time I feel like Cannes means more than the Oscars mean, so. Because that film festival is, like, huge, right? Especially for independent work.
Cannes is huge.
Yeah.
I know someone who went to Cannes when they studied abroad, I think. Mm-hmm. And I am so jealous. Like, that
It'd probably be
cool. So cool.
I'm sure there's also a lot of not good stuff.
Oh, I'm sure. But I think it would be a really cool experience to, at some point, go to a big film festival.
Oh, yeah.
I digress.
South by Southwest? All right. So, I have a bunch of other background that I want to save for the selling points because there were things I didn't know, and I thought they were really cool. So we're going to back off on that, and I'm going to give you our back-of-the-box synopsis, which Hannah's heard plenty of times, but for everyone out there, the back of the box is that French dancers gather in a remote, empty school building to rehearse on a wintry night. The all-night celebration morphs into a hallucinatory nightmare when they learn their sangria is laced with LSD. It's that simple.
It sounds like a nightmare.
It
like
is a nightmare.
Genuine nightmare to have your anything laced with anything.
So, it is, and that goes into our classification of the genre. Mm-hmm. So it is an experimental psychological horror, and the reason for being experimental,
I was going to ask,
is in the background that I'm waiting to get to.
Oh, you effer. Okay.
It's experimental in the way that it's shot. It's definitely like a little. It's not anything crazy, but its cinematography is a little odd. Some things they do are different. Some interesting editing, and then I think a lot of really interesting choices in how they present the plot.
Okay.
So we can talk about that. Why you haven't seen it? There was no wide U.S. release. All I'm seeing is that it had a release in France and Belgium.
And then streaming.
But I had heard of it from a podcast I listened to years ago that I don't think even exists anymore.
What podcast was that?
It was part of...
Was it like the Show Me the Meaning?
It was either Show Me the Meaning or one of the other ones that crew did.
Okay.
Which I think was... I don't want to lie. I'm trying to remember. I thought that company went out of business. But they had an argument that one of the guys was saying this was a perfect film. They did the perfect film bracket.
There's another, I guess, maybe indie podcast. I don't know. Like a smaller, at the moment, horror podcast. Mm-hmm. No Bodies, and they did recently as one of their, I think it was like their 10th episode, like not too deep in, they did an A24 bracket, and there was 3 of them, and they had very mixed opinions on
Mixed
Climax
opinions?
too.
Well,
yeah.
Takes a special kind of brain.
But then one was
movie.
arguing this movie was great. Shout out Lonely.
I like it a lot. That's why I'm trying to sell it to you.
Yeah.
But it's good to get out and see something that is just a little bit different.
Well, and I think the people on that episode who didn't like it, it was because it is different. And, sometimes that's going to hit with people and sometimes it won't.
Yeah.
And, we're all different and have different opinions.
So,
their cage match was episode 9, 10, and 11. And they currently have 21 episodes total. So They're in their baby era, so check them out too.
Yeah, shout out. So, let's talk about why you should watch it. And don't read my notes. I see you looking at my computer.
You have the font so big.
Yeah, I'm like an old man. Okay. So, it's about a dance troupe, as we said, right? So, it's a ensemble cast of 24 actors in this movie. 22 of which were dancers with no prior acting experience, which is really cool.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. I mean, I don't recognize any of them.
Have they done anything now? Do we know?
I didn't look into that. Two of them were actors that had done other stuff. I'm assuming they were all dancers, right? That was their profession.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, they do a lot of dancing in this movie.
Well, yeah, that's what it's about.
Does that sell you? Because there's a lot of dancing, and it's really fun. It was also shot in chronological order in 15 days, with a large portion of the film being improvised by the cast. Well,
that's kind of wild too for
people who haven't acted before.
Yeah, people who haven't acted.
Do an improv. Yeah, so Noé, basically, he said that they asked him for a script, and he said, in quotes, "No, just come to the set and do whatever you want. I'll never push you to do anything against your will, and if you have any ideas, please tell them to me."
This sounds like an incredibly stressful first project, I have to say.
So I guess he had, he had a script for, the overall story, but then for every, there's 24 characters.
Specific dialogue wasn't written out.
Correct. And he also, for a lot of them, gave them, loose traits, but kind of let them do what they wanted. So, they could take the character in a different direction if they, talked to him about it, which he said did happen. But spoilers for that kind of stuff. So, yeah, a lot of these actors, a lot of their time on camera was made up or improvised, and a lot of their conversations are just on the fly.
I guess my question would be, was the choreography? No,
that was planned, which
I would assume.
Yeah, the choreography was planned. Again, they're all dancers. You're going to make me skip around, but it's fine. There is a 5-minute fully choreographed dance by the cast as one of the first scenes of the movie. It actually starts with their audition tapes, which are pretty fun, where you learn each character through a quick audition, and then it goes right into them doing their dance practice. And I guess they said it took them 16 takes, and they took the 15th as the one they used for the movie. And it's great. It's really good. It is a lot of fun. I think that's why Jason and I loved it so much, was you just have this dance music and these just 5-minute. I think that one might have been a long take too, of just this choreographed dance.
Yeah.
And we were like, all right, we're in. It's also it is really impressive. I dropped something. Sorry. It's impressive knowing that none of them were actors, because there's these really amazing moments where they're cutting around talking to people as they're coming up, the acid's starting to hit, and all of a sudden what they're saying just doesn't make sense, but they're understanding each other, and you as the viewer are confused because you're oh, that was making sense, and again, it's a different language. Actually, there are some English speakers, some German, and then some French, but you don't understand, and all of a sudden what they're saying is becoming gibberish, and they're giggling about it, and it's a very disorienting experience, but I thought very impressive for a bunch of non-actors. Especially, like I said, with it being that they could just take the character in any direction.
Yeah.
This Gasper guy seems kind of awesome, and also a madman. I can't believe this worked.
I'm curious. You know how in various media, when they show drug use, sometimes it's not accurate. I wonder if it's accurate.
So he said, I guess in previous movies he has had drug use, and similar to how Midsummer tries to replicate the feeling of the drugs to the person with sound effects or visual changes, he actually wanted to shoot it more like a documentary style, so that there's no effects on the viewer, but they are only seeing the effects take hold in the people.
Yeah.
And, I mean, from what I understand from people that have used this hallucinogen, that, there are a lot of accurate things in this movie.
Okay.
Although it does they've all completely overserved themselves, and I think in some areas it gets more insane than it should, but there are, some pretty good.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Another really cool thing that I forgot, you asked about why it's experimental. It has a kind of an unconventional narrative, and an unconventional style, including as I'm saying, staggering 42-minute one take.
42-minute one take.
Yes. I don't know if it is a oneer or if it's a fake oneer like Birdman. Either way, cool. And the film is only 96 minutes long.
Oh,
so almost half of it is a oneer. which is very cool. And that I think happens in the back half when they're at like full peak tripping.
That's cool. I'm a sucker for that kind of gimmick. Especially when it like contributes to the plot and the feeling you're supposed to have while watching. Like 1917 was a perfect movie for that.
I agree.
Honestly, so is Birdman.
I thought so too. This makes total sense because it's exhausting. Yeah. Which is like you are supposed to feel almost like tired by the end of this movie. So that's what I have for why you should see. I'll say other things. This is my quote that I wrote. I'd say it's an absolute blast of a movie that then kind of like delves into this just like disturbing nightmare. Which is like, I really enjoy that because you're kind of like high up on that. And then you're, like I said before, exhausted by the end. And then it also has incredible music, performances, and direction. Like from a technical standpoint, pretty perfect. So, got any questions?
No.
You more interested now? I have more things to say, but I want to see how you're feeling halfway through.
I mean, I just think the premise of, like, the core premise is really interesting. But with so much dancing, I think that's why I've been hesitant to watch it in the past.
The dancing was what's fun.
Well, like, I know that that's what makes it unique, but I also I feel like because that is fatiguing, it takes like an effort for me to like want to sit down and watch it.
The dancing really stops after the halfway point. There's the choreographed part, and then while they're like coming up, there's like their party dancing, and there's this cool shot from above looking down at their circle, and that goes on for a while. And I think that's when the credits drop, which is like 30 minutes. Which spoiler, credits dropping 30 minutes in is fun. Awesome. Yeah. I love, and that's such a dumb gimmick, but when a movie can drop a title card 30 to 40 minutes in,
that's like, really funny.
You know you're in for a good time. And so that's really cool. It's part of the dance montage. All right. So we got to get to our scarometer. I am calling this the type of scares unsettling and disorienting, which, again, that's why it kind of has that exhausting feeling. And in terms of unsettling and disorienting, it's a 4 out of 5.
But, like, what about scary period? Like, because that's how I feel like...
scary because I put myself in the situation.
Hold on, no, that's not what I'm asking. Okay. I feel like overall, do you feel scared when you watch it? I guess I feel like we look at the scarometer different because mine, I can tell you what kind of scare it is, but like I rate it as like overall how like scared or uncomfortable I am, not within that genre of scary.
I'm not scared. I'm usually disturbed and unsettled and disoriented. In this.
But like you giving it a 4 out of 5 means you're like near puke.
No, sorry, I meant a 4 out of 5 in the unsettling and disorienting scale.
No, but so really, it's probably
that like a 2. Then maybe it's a 2. I don't know.
Okay.
It makes me feel uncomfortable.
Okay.
But I want to watch. Okay. You know, there are some gross things that happen.
Yeah, sorry to question you, but I just realized that we've been like conceptualizing this differently.
Whatever. It happens. Okay, want to hear about the critics?
Yeah.
What they think?
Do critics like it?
69% on Rotten Tomatoes. Nice. Okay. The reason for that is it's horror and it's experimental. For it to not be perfect. Yeah. It's French, it's horror, it's experimental. I get it. There is some violence, there is some like grossness, there is some like disturbing things, and sometimes that doesn't hit. Yeah. Narratively, it's weird because it is just them in this room and everyone's experience and all this weird stuff happening and the way they're interacting with each other. So, like, there is not... Some people will claim that there's not enough plot. But, like, for me, I don't want any more plot.
Yes. Well, yeah, I feel like things when they're narratively, like, not structured with a typical narrative, it's either going to be super hit or miss.
Well, the USA brain falls apart when there's not typical narrative structure.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but
it's true.
Hollywood's very into narrative. We're getting better, but, that's, like, a big thing. Where France is very into style. Yeah. That was a big thing. French New Wave's like a thing. I took a film class, all right? We watched Breathless. You didn't even know what I'm talking about. I took a film class, too, and it was literally the most wild ride of my life. The first movie we watched was Hot Tub Time Machine. We then watched Eraserhead, and then we watched a movie I was actually telling Matt about today that was... I think it was from the 70s or 80s. It was like a Japanese-French production with Japanese actors who had sex on screen. And we watched that together in class. I love that.
So, a wild ride.
I feel like that's actually a perfect way to do it, though, because you hit Hot Tub Time Machine, which is fully narrative driven. And then what was the second one? Eraserhead, which is very feelings driven, right? And I don't know much about this last one. But again, it's more on the experimental side versus narrative driven. So you're kind of hitting everything there. Or is it style, narrative?
The only narrative driven movie we watched in the whole class was Hot Tub Time Machine.
I love that.
It was a wild pick. It did not go with the rest of the syllabus. But that kind of makes sense, though.
I don't know. I see it making sense of why you would go with that movie. You can learn from any movie, right?
Well, yeah.
No? It just seems like it makes sense to me. I have mixed feelings
about Jeff's curriculum.
We were all over the place with ours. But, okay.
Continue, sorry.
Sorry, yeah, we're all... So, that's what the critics say. I'm saying fine. I'm a thumbs up on this movie, so my critic consensus is 100%.
Is that a 0 or a 100, yes, depending if the thumb is up or not?
Correct,
okay.
Yes. That's how Rotten Tomatoes works anyway. It's all just bringing them together. So, a couple quotes from different critics. So, Ella Kemp of Sight and Sound said, "The pace is electric, never dulling for a moment as each affected party rises and falls to different places of horror." Which, I picked that one because that sounds like how I described it. So, I was like, all right, I got someone on my side. Brian Truitt of USA Today said, "Climax strives and mostly succeeds to be the nuttiest, trippiest dance party you'll ever attend."
Mostly succeeds?
Yeah, I don't know why I said mostly. I'm sure people have problems with some of it. Like you said, there's weird structure moments, and it does get... To call it the nuttiest, trippiest dance party is a little scary funny. Because it gets, disgusting in some ways.
Emphasis on the nuttiest?
Yeah, nutty is putting it light.
Yeah, I was going to say, that feels too playful.
So maybe that's why I said mostly succeeds. It's fun. I wish I'd explain, it is very fun, but there are things that happen that I'm like, ooh, I don't feel so good. My tummy kind of hurts. And then Helen O'Hara of Empire Magazine said, "At times you'll be watching in horror, but you'll never look away." Which I really liked, because that's also how I felt.
Why do you feel like you can't look away?
Because it looks good, and you're just along for the ride. You're there. You're there, but you're not on anything, and you're stuck with them, right? Or you could be on something. I don't know. I would not recommend taking anything to watch this movie. I don't think it would be good.
You sure?
I think the movie is the drug.
Yeah.
In this situation.
Oh, that's a cool, convincing way of putting it.
The movie is the drug. Nothing in the movie does hallucinogen effects on you, but the narrative and the pace of it and the way that it accelerates is the drug. So, those are my big points on it. It's really fun. And really gross.
Does it feel like it has standout cinematography to you?
I mean, a 42-minute oneer, I guess, can be considered standout. But yeah, probably. I remember really enjoying it. I haven't watched it in a little bit, so we gotta watch it. Maybe after this.
Okay.
Are you down? You more interested?
I think I'm about as interested.
I thought that sucks. I really thought that the background stuff, it was shot in 15 days.
No, the background is really interesting.
The actors weren't actors. That's what I thought.
I think that is really interesting.
Yeah.
It does make me... I could say I'm more interested.
There's a part... Oh, I forgot. There's a part where he holds the camera upside down for a significant period of time. And it's just along the floor upside down. Which is very disorienting. And that's also near the peak of yeah. That's where it gets tiring.
Yeah.
But it's good.
The druggy feeling is not that I know it's not filmed Midsummer druggy feeling where the camera and the things breathe, but I still putting your head in the mind space of being on a drug, watching the people on the drug,
and that's
stressful. So where can we find it?
All right. Well, I'm seeing right now you can get it for $3.99 to rent on Amazon, which is probably the best way to go about it, or $3.99 on Apple TV. Worth the $4. Whatever. What I'm seeing is you can get it with a Hulu subscription as well. I think it has to be the Prime or the Premier, whatever it is, the better subscription. So, I don't know. Don't watch it with commercials, though. Also, streaming services get rid of commercials, or we're going to find you.
Is that how Hulu works now?
Some of them have, yeah.
I didn't know Hulu
they've all changed.
I don't think Hulu has that like that.
The commercials?
I think it just comes with Hulu. No, Hulu does have commercials, but I don't think certain movies are only accessible. Only Hulu TV is
Oh.
I think you can find this on regular old Hulu.
Oh, good.
But
with commercials or no?
I could be a liar. Who's to say?
Yeah. I'd say rent it. It's worth your $4. It's a fun time. Get some friends together, put it on, like...
Have a crazy dance party with your friends.
Crazy stuff happens, but it is a very, like I said, I've almost always watched it with another person.
Should we host a watch party at our house with sangria?
No. No. A watch party is fun, but everyone's going to be tired after.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I hope that you're willing to watch it soon because it's fun.
I am willing to watch
it's 94 minutes.
Yeah, that's a great length for this. Because if not, I feel like it would be a little fatiguing.
I mean, yeah, it definitely. I think you'd enjoy. Also, like, you're getting 24 different stories basically going on, some intermixing, which is really cool. And when it's actually like that oneer in, sorry, I'm going to keep talking, that oneer in Hill House, you know how it's like intermixing between multiple stories? Mm-hmm. That's how that's shot. So it's like going from different people in different rooms, and this like school is also like
that's my favorite episode of TV, period. Wow. So, and it's because of that. So.
Wow. Dark is, you don't have a better episode of Dark?
No.
I can't believe it. Okay. Well, we hit 20 minutes. This is long for us. I'd say watch it. Hannah, I hope you watch it sometime soon. Anything else you want to say?
No.
All right. Well, I've been Matt, Hannah.
I'm Hannah. I'll report back when I finally watch it.
Yep. Thanks for watching. Go watch the movie.
Bye.